So this is an old video that you're going to watch. I started filming in November 2023 and it took me a year to post. So these are all archived clips. Some of my thoughts might have changed, some might stay the same, but I'd like to post them because it's part of the journey and it's important to me, and they matter to me, and it shows the journey and shows different thoughts I was going through compared to now, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. Um, just on a 40-minute run on a treadmill, only 5k. Just did it. So I'm sort of testing this. Not testing, but I'm doing this sort of theory about running, where you just run slow. It's actually really nice. I'm not used to just running slow. I'm used to just running as fast as I can for a certain set, and if I don't get a good time, I'm not happy. So yeah, it's a change to basically run the same distance, double the amount of time. I enjoy it because I found that running for a longer period of time interrupts the thoughts. If I've had a day of repetitive thoughts and you can't get something off your mind, something's annoyed you, something's stressed you, something's bothering you. I found that for me, a 40-minute, 50-minute run, which is still kind of hard. You're sweating a lot, and your body's hurting in different places. But I've just found that sort of resets me a bit, resets my thoughts. It's almost like having a bit of a calm down. You're getting rid of all that stuck energy, in a sense. That's sort of the theory behind it. But I enjoy it as well because I sort of run just on that line of, I could run faster here. I can run faster here, and I can suffer some more. What's going on here? I can suffer some more. What the hell was that? Yeah, sorry. I could suffer some more, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna be on the verge of that suffering. And it's sort of steady. It's like you're almost suffering for a long time. And I find it enjoyable, really. I could run for longer, but I just don't seem like I have the time, I guess. Or I don't make the time, necessarily, either. But yeah, I like it because it interrupts my thoughts, because sometimes I can tell myself the same story. I was on end, and eventually it's just damaging, basically. Because sometimes I use a bit of fantasy at work to get through the day, to get through. It's not even to get through the day, I guess. Like it's a bad day. It's more to get into the flow of work. Imagine putting headphones on, or meditation, eye mask, earplugs, just silence, just that flow, that pause. Well, imagine that, but for me at work, when I can use my thoughts, I can get into this flow state where I don't have to necessarily worry about what I'm doing and how boring it might be, because I'm entertained in my thoughts. Just like running, I prefer to run without headphones. I really do. Because I thought I can entertain myself with my thoughts. So So I sort of use fantasy a bit at work in my head to get me through jobs that otherwise would be boring. And I dip in and out, you know, when I got to concentrate and I've got to actually think about something. I'm not fully gone, you know. I'm still there, but like I said, I'm in a flow state. But yeah, I think it's. I think for me, it saved me a lot of times when I figured out different tools that I can use for me to change my mind. Because it's it's a lot of work, I think, controlling your mind and controlling what you think and then what you do. You know, thoughts and then actions. There's a lot of control there, and there's a lot of energy that happens in my mind, if that makes sense. So I have sometimes got to control it. But yeah, exercise is one of those tools that controls those thoughts. I have been trying to think of what different things to film on here. Like last week, I was sort of delving into the idea of sort of doing weekly news or something of that sort, but if I'm honest, news just does bore me. So I was thinking, can I make it funny? Can I listen to something that's funny and then repeat the stories, and it's also me learning? But I sort of gave up on that idea just because it sort of was felt a bit unnatural to me. And I don't want to force anything with these videos. I do want them just to be steady. You don't have to be anything. And if you watch, you watch. If you don't watch, you don't watch. They're not really necessarily about something every time. I am sort of trying to just stop yawning. That's one thing. I am sort of just trying to learn. Use this to learn in terms of my thoughts, learn in terms of filming myself and managing my thoughts and speaking out loud with those thoughts and speaking proper English, which I definitely don't do. You know, and equipment and stuff like that. Trying to see what I learn from there. You know, the theory is what my ideal situation is. To not yawn. My ideal situation is to sort of film as much as I can and film every day, not necessarily post every day, even though I would prefer to post. Well, yeah, ideal situation: film every day, post every day, because the things I'm going to learn, easy, bloody hell, the things I'm going to learn by posting and filming every day, you know, it's going to be pretty crazy. And I'm all about learning. So that's sort of my main focus in life that I put my attention towards. It's learning, because I sort of fear any situation where I don't know what to do, or I fear of a situation where I'm in, where I'm like, oh, I have no idea. That just frustrates me. So I think naturally I just want to know everything and learn everything and be perfect and everything be right. Obviously, that's not how life works, but that's what I want, and so I think that's why I sort of chase this education, this learning, and this exploration of thoughts and experiences. That's what sort of fuels me. But yeah, I'm loving my state at the moment. generally in life. I'm fired up to try and do great things. I do feel like I'm being held back in some areas, but that's life, you know? You can't have everything just perfect without anything holding you back, I guess. Not for me now, not for me in my situation anyway. And being held back, again, helps me experience, settle into things and really learn and explore. So, again, I don't mind it. And it's not, I've been told in the past, because you've got a really positive mindset about things. And that to me I don't agree with that. That's not how I sort of think. The way I think of it is like, just flip it any way that you want. Like I heard a phrase. I think it was from Chris Williamson, or it was Alex Hormozy. Maybe it was them together. If you can be in a bad mood for no reason, you can be in a good mood for no reason. And it's really is just challenging your own mental state to flip what situation you're in and make it worthwhile, I guess. Make it into a positive, but it's not like that. It's not like, oh, I'm going to think of it in a positive way. It's like, what am I actually getting from this? In my mind, sometimes when people say, oh, think positively, it's almost like you're covering whatever that bad thing is, you're covering it with a sheet, being like, oh, no, it looks great. Whereas me, I'm more like, well, it's pretty bad. That thing is pretty bad. But, I mean, what did it learn? What did I learn from it? What did I get from it? What do I know not to do next time? And stuff like that. I mean, again, not perfect. Not saying I do that all the time. But I think sometimes, especially in hindsight or sort of after the event has happened of whatever it is, I sort of do analyze it and come to that conclusion, and it settles my mind. But yeah, home sweet home. That's about it. That's all I got to say. Sort of stopped filming for a bit. Just is what it is, and not stressed about it too much. But I'm gonna try and get the camera on a bit more because I want to aim for every day. So gotta keep doing it. Peace.